It's lovely. I mean, if this is known as a graveyard, right? It's sacred land because there's graves underneath here. Obviously, there's no gravestones, but once they start digging up here, they're digging like the people who've been buried here. And I think if this is a burial land, it's linked in with church over the road there.
Can we just get a picture of the church?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is where. This is now, actually, we've just realised they still use it on a Sunday. So
What is it? It's the Methodist Church.
yeah, Brownley Green Methodist Church.
Yeah, Brownley Green Methodist Church.
And
Yeah.
it's,
And they
and
still
part
use
of it is used as a gym, obviously during the week, isn't it? And wasn't there a bus stop?
still used at the church for festival and all that. But part of it now is used as a gym. It's doing a good thing. Keeping the kids off the street, teaching.
It
seems to that gym.
And it's also sort of like using the space, which is good. It doesn't mean it goes to wreck and ruin.
See, it's an exercise in play.
Yeah.
And it's nice to get this information like there. I don't think you know Claire, right? But this used to be the old bus terminus. The 45 bus terminus, so it came up Broad Oak Road, turn around this road here, dropped off, and the bus conductors used to shout out, "Debtors retreat!" Everybody lived on the social. So that's why, which was funny when you heard it, right? And then you used to go round and. Honestly, you couldn't have met a better, more polite bus driver and conductor. And I think it was from like an African nation. Sense of humour, you know what I mean? And I used to do the old 45. I mean, I used to play on here, you know what I mean? But this used to be full of a pond. A massive big pond. And it's still sinking now, and I can't see how people are going to give them permission to build flats on when there's graves underneath here. Now I didn't know that, Claire, over the graves. It's a grave mistake if they do. Yeah, and yes, fair enough, Darryl. And like I say, I didn't know the church. I thought it was closed, but it's not. It's still open.
I think it's amazing that the church.
I should have known about a notice board, Claire.
Yeah, but you don't know sometimes because they could have actually kept that up.
Yeah.
For reasons of history, Or it could have been.
I mean, where is it now? No, I don't tell you when it's open. Sunday worship for all
10:45.
10:45. So it's still used regular on a Sunday.
Well, that is really good.
I didn't know that, so you can cut that if you want.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right, ready? Yeah. Good. Yeah. So we're here, aren't we?
So just the rehearsal. So I've told Darren what he's got to do. That's what happened from here. Cross over to there. Says what it says. There to there. Then it's you interviewing there.
We've just got it on filming now, so we should just.
Yes. Right. We're okay then. So.
Yep. What's it going?
This is Banfield Road.
Yes. You're right here?
Yeah. It's just the sun shining.
Well, it was, yes.
And it used to be a big thing like that. A big church like that. And now look at it. It's being developed.
What's the road, chaps? I'm just going to, this might be bobbing a bit here because I'm crossing the road.
When you start getting the
What's one more?
Over to Darren now. Darren's got a little bit of information about us. Darren?
Yeah, as you can see, this is the very famous St John's Church, and at the back there is the school that linked to it.
It's still the gates. Look.
And the statue over there is a statue of Our Lady.
Yeah, that's right. It used to be the last vicar, the last priest that lived here was actually a man called Father Michael Murray.
Who you know very well, don't you?
I think you've got a little bit of information about start looking a bit further up, Darren.
Yes,
Before
it's
we hand
here.
over to Claire. Right, what information have you got, Darren?
Eh?
What information have you got about this house?
Well, this here is what you call a presbytery, where the
Vicar would live. Well,
Father lived.
Yeah, Father.
in the Church of England it's known as a vicarage, but that's
Crazy now. Well, I'll tell you like the history of St John Fisher and St Thomas More. The foundation stone for St John Fisher and St Thomas More was laid on the 2nd of March 1935 by Bishop Moriarty, the church being completed later that year. St John Fisher and St Thomas More, for 75 years this was to serve the local community and was to be celebrated by a number of events. The celebrated Mass with Bishop Brian Noble and was main servant. In September 2010, the closing of the church was marked by a deep moving final Mass.
I
On.
can't understand why with the route being bad they didn't put in for a lot of them.
Well, I think really the church had decided it was a lot of work to be done on it. So, and because of what they call it is the failing of people going to services, that they decided to change it.
We have about 40 grand. Unfortunately, somewhere along the line it went adrift. So this is why they had to put the damper on it straight away, because the money was not there, even though they had collected it off the congregation. And it's very hard to see all that money disappear. I don't know where it went, so I'm not going into that.
We were told something different. What we were told is that due to the failing numbers of the congregation, that they decided to, in 2010 it was, they decided to close it, and people, the parishioners, were offered a new home at St Luke's.
That's down the road.
Right.
We could link that in if you want before we go back to the
Yeah, we
centre.
can do that.
So it's just one picture of the father's house, the vicarage.
Yes, here it is, the presbytery, isn't it?
Yeah.
Tell us some more. Yes.
Yeah, it's going to be really sad to see that it's going to be turned into flats.
Yeah.
And it was really good, because sometimes they would have mass in there instead of having it
they did.
in the thing.
How was that?
They sometimes did have it because they didn't want to open it during the week. They didn't want to open the church during the week. So they used to I remember coming to mass in the actual present.
Can move on just down the road.
Yeah.
So, obviously, come on, house that's being converted to 2 houses, and then there's 12 flats going on here.
Yeah. And it
Right.
did. There was like a thing until just recently.
Yep.
They did actually still have mass there, and it was called the Well.
The Well, yeah. So we're just walking down there now.
Yeah.
So do you want to start that film?
Yeah.
And then we'll
Yeah.
see how it's going to be flats now.
Yeah.
5 flats, they're all already in it.
Oh, look at this now. You know how it's being used now.
Right. Oh, so over to you, Darren. No. Well, have you got the picture of it?
Yeah. Well, as you can see here, there's a sign saying "Save our Greens." We don't want to see this built with bungalows, but it won't work because there's all water at the bottom, isn't there?
Don't forget the coach.
Oh, gravestones. Mind you, the grey lady won't be happy, will she?
She will not. She'll haunt everybody. Don't worry about that. I've known the Grey Lady for years, since I was 7 years old. I've not actually seen it,
I was going to say.
but I've gone along with the story of it, and it still sticks in my mind.
I read that on Facebook. I found it very fascinating.
And don't forget, because it's a spirit, they're not going to come back and haunt you. You know what I mean? There's knowledge there what we can build round and educate our younger generation. And don't forget, when these people go to the spirit world, they've not harmed you before they die, so they're not going to come back and haunt you and make you money. Because you might be in a little bit of a problem.
Why would you want to destroy this place?
Well, you tell me. Okay, Claire, that's it.
How the hell can you get far forward?
Now, Claire, we're coming down on the lane. Once you're down the road to St. Luke's Church.
Now, because of St. John's being pulled down, this now is the oldest church now in Wythenshawe, and believe it or not, before it was built, now a congregation got started up, the vicar put a notice board, and it used to be a farmhouse, so the vicar put things on saying church services, so eventually you got people, and because it wasn't well, because Wythenshawe wasn't very big at the time, and when it came to it about then he put a notice board saying on about Sunday school, and it got the first about 100 people, and then word of mouth started to spread, and it ended up with over 350 children coming to Sunday school here. So it's a really amazing church now, and it's still got like the Sunday services, and also this is where
Big books
Saint, this is where
There, doesn't it?
this is where the church is. Saint John Fisher and Saint Thomas More do their services. I mean, they've got their masses at 11:30, and just before it is just before or just after, the congregation that used to celebrate, the Catholics used to celebrate Mass at St John Fisher, they come here now for a service just after or before after they've finished. That's how it works, and I think it's great that two communities, Christians, can worship together, even if it is at separate times. And I think with it being open, I think we could have a little look.
Just while we're going on there, there is the British Legion on Wythenshawe Lane has asked, can they put a memorial plaque in the grounds of Century, and I think they've agreed on it. It's in the process now.
You mean in Cenotaph?
Yeah, Cenotaph. The people who was in the Legion who lost their lives off the street, right? And also the people who was associated with the club, their names will be on it as well. And just for one thing, before we go inside there, that was where the Wythenshawe pub was, that big building there.
Yes, I remember it.
That was one of the best pubs round here. And it was always full of Irish people.
Which hard.
And it was very rare there was trouble, believe it or not.
Yeah, they had a bad name of it, I don't know why, that was just a shame.
So we do a quick look at
Yeah,
the
should we
step.
just have a little look, because I think this is a very special church. Looking at
I've been to some funerals at this church, you know.
I can imagine. It's actually amazing though. We can just have a look at what it sort of looks like.
Yeah.
So, we're not going, but we can just,
I'm not doing anything.
just film it.
So just doing a little film there, we give out the marketing people for St. John's.
Right, here outside St. Peter's where it used to be. and obviously the church has been dissolved, but the first church, and there's a link between St. Peter's and Sacred Heart. So what they had was, before the church was created, in a barn I think it was, I've been told, and now when it was closed, which was such a shame, and all the rest, they were all really sad, this school took over, and it was school of St. Paul's Catholic High School. Now St. Paul's Catholic High School has always been here, but obviously now the Piper Hill has changed to it. So what has happened now is the school's taken it over, and so what happened is Sacred Heart and St. Peter's became one parish again. So the original parish was St. Peter's, and then as it expanded, St. Peter's, they needed a new church, which ended up to be the Sacred Heart. The divide was that it would end at Holyhead Road, but now, as I've told you, it's Sacred Heart and St. Peter's now, and that was decided in 2010, I think. Yeah. Done.
Stop it.
Yeah.
Right, off you go. Got my recording.
Are you walking?
Right, so we're here.
You carry on, Claire.
So we're here at Wythenshawe Hall, and as you can see, that's that statue of.
I'll do that. You do the all.
What's that statue? There's a statue of
Oliver Cromwell.
So can you tell us more about?
Yeah, so we've
like,
got to get with his
history?
picture. Yeah, well, we can walk over there and see him. We can have our photographs taken in there. Let's do this one about this.
Yeah, that's what
You've got some information about this, by the way, haven't you, Claire?
Yeah,
Have you got it, Darren? Yeah.
It started off from what I believe that from the Shentons.
Tattons.
It was the Shentons first that owned it, wasn't it?
No, Tattons.
Oh, it's the Tattons.
Yeah.
Make your minds up, lads.
Right, yeah, the Tattons, and according to what I researched on the internet here, Wythenshawe Hall has its very own White Lady. After all, it is a 14th century stately home, and it wouldn't be one without it. The White Lady is in fact the spirit of Mary Webb, a former servant back in the 1640s.
Yeah, that's about right, because it goes with the survey what I've been doing. Her name was mentioned in the library book about it.
Yeah.
And it's a shame, because this hall was owned by the Tatton. They lived here and over the generations, and unfortunately he was pressured into selling the land, right, for extra links to the airport and building more houses. So he was pressurised at the end, but Oliver Cromwell played it crafty. He brought an army of men to pinch this hall and the land. But Mr. Tatton, Mr. Tatton had better ideas. He got 50 men to surround this building, right? Yeah. So Oliver Cromwell, that statue over there, I don't know why they've got him here, I do not know, right? Yes, Darren? I don't know why they've got him sat there, because he tried to rob the land off Mr. Tatton. So Mr. Tatton got a group of 50 men to protect this hall. So Oliver Cromwell came with his army of men, thinking he could pinch that and all this land.
He didn't succeed because he was tipped off, wasn't he?
He got tipped off. So what does he do? Oliver Cromwell went running when he realised there was 50 men, that was all. protecting this against an army of men, and I believe there was only one casualty. I'm not too sure what side that one casualty of. But Oliver Cromwell went running. So why?
Yeah, why on earth has they got?
Yeah, so we walk over there. So why on earth have they got a statue?
Go on.
I can't for the life of me wonder why they've got a statue of that evil person, Oliver Cromwell.
Oliver Cromwell, yeah, but it's not even mentioned in the library books, I don't know. You know that?
Yeah, I know, I wonder why
they've
though.
got a statue of here. I mean, it has got there. When was that placed? Are you alright there?
Yeah. Go on.
There's a bit of light in there.
Just a minute. I can't hear you.
99.
Yeah. So tell us more then, Doug, about like who was the last owner of
Charleston of
the-
Wythenshawe Hall.
yeah.
Mr. Tatton, one of the Tattons,
Yeah.
a very wealthy man. But in the end, he gave the land to his son
Yeah.
and this property, and they donated that to the people of Wythenshawe. So that was the hall, and all Wythenshawe Park was donated to the people of Wythenshawe.
Well, I think that's very, very fascinating.
So that they couldn't build any lands on it, any houses, and also they couldn't link it up with the airport.
Yeah.
It was for the people of Wythenshawe to come and see the sights and enjoy it, you know. Well, he was nothing but a robber. You
I know, I don't know
And
why
it's
they
got
put a
there-
statue up.
It's got there the gift of Elizabeth Sainsbury Haywood to the citizens of Manchester. So
Couldn't they
that was
thought of a better gift?
Yeah, so that was donated by that person, Elizabeth Salisbury.
Who is she?
Right? I don't know. Right?
Well, we'll look that. You know, if the viewers want to look more up, they can find out more history.
So with that, we'll leave there and
Yeah.
we'll go to Bagley Hall now.
Yeah.
Right.
And I believe
So we've arrived at Bagley Hall, and this, I believe, we have a bit of information from it. The Tattons, the Tattons are in the Shannon.
this was the
Tattons,
Yeah.
where the gravestones were.
Yeah, they took them up from North Indian Church
Yeah.
and they laid to rest the stones. It's inside.
Yeah.
Can't see it on the line there. There's a listed building this time of year now.
It will be like what?
There is a discussion, but we'll see that in a minute. And what they're going to do with the art. Can we see the discussion of stone? Go this way, Darren. Keep looking, keep going. It's in the edge stone.
I think you're probably right.
It's a beautiful building.
Yeah. I
Purely
mean, look
timber,
at how beautiful it is, really. I mean, you've got
This was the
such,
approach to it.
and it's absolutely beautiful.
Uh,
You know, that it was
Yes, it is.
was it owned by the
Chattons.
Chattons as
Yeah,
well?
Yeah.
And I think it's just beautiful how, you know, how it looks and how old it is.
If for some no reason it is the Shetlands that owned it, we can go back on the paperwork that you've got at home.
Yeah.
We can always refer back to it.
Well,
But
I
I'm
think-
sure it's the Chattons own this.
Yeah.
Yeah. You see that down there? They've got it boarded up there so no one smashes the windows. You know,
I can understand that,
yeah,
can't you?
but, you know, it's a listed building, you know.
Beautiful though.
Yeah.
You know, I love buildings like
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
I really do.
This is the, I don't know. We'll find out in your paperwork when this was built. And I
Yeah.
think you're going back round about the 16th, 17th century.
Well, I think they can refer to the page, you know,
Yeah.
from the start of this
Yeah.
movie anyway.
You know, you can always get one of your leaflets
Yeah.
with the picture of this. It'll have the date on it.
Plans on what they're going to do with it, isn't there,
Well,
Doug?
there's a meeting which I think we could come.
Oh, it would be lovely if if it was.
Got the date on everything, so you read it out.
Well,
You
here
read it
is the
out.
notice. But his friends.
It's been the meeting.
Are you interested?
Oh.
Yeah.
Right, we can get some more information on that.
But it's so lovely, isn't
23rd
it?
of May, yeah.
But it's lovely though, the fact. I don't think there's probably only so much they can actually do with it.
But we can always find a telephone number over that.
Yeah.
If there's anybody interested over the any heritage enthusiast,
join the
which is
meeting.
you again, you see,
Yeah.
right, in Wythenshawe, welcome to come. So they're probably having a meeting. We've already had one meeting there, so they'll be having another one
Yeah.
to
Probably
discuss.
soon, yeah.
But there was rumours that they was going to open it to the public.
I'd have loved to. I hope
So,
they do.
If you go on the internet, Claire, if you go
Go on.
now we're just approaching what used to be Sharston Hall on Altrincham Road. And now as you can see, it's a lovely building, it's a new hospital. But you guys got something to say about it.
Yeah, what did he use it for?
Well, when they closed it down after the Tattons handed it over to the Shentons, it couldn't be lived in. They had to kind of pull it down. And before they pulled it down, they rolled it up to the City Council, who used it for the children after school, playing darts, table tennis, you name it, anything went on in there.
That's
It was well used, but unfortunately, old age gets the better of these buildings.
Yeah, and
You
it.
see what lovely building it is now. Good cars, family hospital, private hospital. I spent many a time, I mean I'm 76 now, I spent loads of time after school in there, you know, and used to go and get home for 9 o'clock, get me bin, and they could clip down the ear off for being late, you know. And just down the road, just over there, Claire, where the houses are, that was Shenton's farm, that.
Wow, farm,
Everybody used to come there for the bread, the milk, the chickens, the eggs, you know. And all this land was all Shenton's, all round here, you know.
For the cow pats.
Yeah, I mean, this is like the corner of Fenside Road, this. You know, but I can go on forever and ever about the Shentons. I wish I could find more information about them, but unfortunately it's all revolved around the Tattons. Because they had loads of money, loads of land. Shentons had loads of land, but they wasn't as popular as what the Tattons was. And it's a shame, really.
It is a shame.
A real shame, you know. Anyway, that's the story in Sharston Hall. Yeah? You okay then?
Yeah.
So, it's church.
And rumour has it that some of the Tattons were buried here.
Yes, I believe so, going to the records. My investigation have proved me right. And also, I believe, you know
They
this.
didn't last, did they? They were moved, weren't they?
Well, you know that they moved the headstones from here, don't you? Where'd they gone to?
Bagley Hall.
Bagley Hall, yeah, because the reason why they moved them to there, the Tattons lived at Bagley Hall.
Hadn't they? What did they do? Both did they?
They only served here, this was their regular church, right? And then they went to live in there.
Wow.
So he wanted his family lifting up headstones and to be buried there.
So they lived in both Tatton and with there, but it's all Bagley.
Yeah, they were very far from here. Should we just have a little walk round?
Yeah, let's see, because this is a beautiful church even to look. I mean,
No, that's Tatton, that one.
but it's an amazing church. I mean, you can sort of get the feel of the.
Just going back to what year it was.
Oh, watch it.
No, couldn't tell you in the year. Couldn't tell you in the year. So, I mean, we can walk around forever and ever and ever. So, yeah, they wanted their family to be at the Bagley Hall. So I don't think we'll find any gravestones here.
Let's just have a little look at the ones that are
I can feel rain.
Yeah. Let's just have a look at the, you know.
Well, where's the door for going in? Is it here, Claire?
Should be. It would be, yeah, I think it'll be.
Yeah, they say main entrance. Do you think the Satins were coming here regularly, having a big egg stone like that, wouldn't
I
you?
think it's amazing. Yeah, you thought they would. But look at it, it's all really. You can sort of feel the history of this place. It's quite remarkable.
Yeah, 1933, you see.
Yeah. But still, it's amazing though. Even without seeing the, you can get the.
Let's have a look.
Yeah, let us get a thing of this.
It's only the date of opening, really.
But it's still amazing. I mean,
Yeah. Just have a look at what round here.
but it is amazing, really. The whole thing of it.
These are all modern because they wouldn't have them in them days, would they?
No.
I mean,
But it's just, you can really feel the history of it.
yeah.
And how it, it would have, what it would have meant to.
There's a nice piece for garden there. Well, that trees perform like that into a kind of a statue of some
I
kind.
know it's amazing, isn't it?
Yeah, unbelievable. And you hear the birds
Yeah.
chirping away.
That's a baby bird, isn't it?
It's a nest up there, yeah.
But I think it's absolutely amazing. But it's just, you can really get a feel for the place. It's amazing.
Yeah, so I don't think you're going to see any
No.
real stones here.
But I think we could still get, a nice sort of feel for it.
Yeah.
Hold on, there's a look right. So we're here now. We're at Peel Hall, and I think Doug has some information for us.
You bet your bottom dollar he has.
Yeah. Don't you have some information for us, Doug, about this part of Peel Hall where we are now?
Yes. What's the name of the road? Lomax Road.
Yeah, Lowman's.
Now this land, what you're looking at now,
Yeah.
what Chris is talking about, was all owned by the Shentons.
Yeah.
And just behind the back of us, where you see this hill, right, there used to be a bridge, and there was a mulch. For those people who don't know what a mulch is, it was surrounded by water.
Oh wow.
And obviously, as far as you can see, all these houses was all Shenton's farm. The whole lot, right down to as far as there, which is Style Road,
Yeah.
right, you name it, it was all farmland by the Shentons. And here, when you stood where we are now, this was a lovely sight, a bridge you could walk over, and there was water all around you. What a beautiful sight it was.
Well, it was.
Really something.
I mean, yeah, they made a little bit of good use for it, made it green here, made a little play area for the kids. But this is going over the recently, can tell by the swings and that for the kids. It's like modern gear, that it's not old gear.
Yeah, it's
you know what I mean?
not,
So all this was land, but you know where that hill is there, that was where the bridge was going across that road. And all water was all the way around it.
Yeah,
You
it's
know what I mean?
amazing, isn't it?
Yeah,
Really, that
beautiful.
it's such a shame that they can't
Yeah.
preserve history.
Yeah.
Really.
And what we're doing, Claire, is we're working the land with the churches as well.
Yeah.
So they're slotting in nicely.
Well, the nearest
Yeah.
churches here that are in Peel Hall
Yeah, and you've got that one
are
down the road there,
Saint
haven't you?
Elizabeth.
That's St Michael's, or that one, is it called?
You've got St Richard's.
St Richard's.
Yeah.
That's a nearest to here.
And that's St
Yeah.
Richard's, I think, is another denomination. But you've
Yeah.
got St Elizabeth's, which is Roman Catholic.
Yeah. So from here now, keep it going up.
Yeah.
From here now, we're going now to one of the most important places, which is
Bagwood Hall.
a little bit of church history and land ownership.
Yeah.
So it all building together, and we're getting very near the end of the film now.
Yeah.
One or two little interviews we've got Thursday and Friday.
Yeah.
Then we can piece the film together.
Right.
Okay.
Right, go on then.
Okay. Good afternoon, my friends. I'd like to introduce you to Mr. Boz Malcolm. Thank you for spending the time with us. Okay. Yeah, just got a couple of questions for you. I know you've been around here all your life and you're well in there. Could you tell me who owned this land before it became the club?
Shentons. There was a well-known family which owned a lot of land, regardless not only this land, but they went as far as the airport. They sold a lot of land on, and where this happened for this land, Sam Smith Brewery bought it off Gents and started to build it, which was for about £15,000 to build this then.
That was a lot of money.
Yeah. But because they didn't have enough funds to build this, they actually got the 12 people on this card, which is well known for these people, for this club to get finished off. And they come along with the saying, let's buy a brick for £1. And that brick was bought by a lot of associates what used to come in this club all before it was built. And it went on from there. And then it was family and friends what actually put their own bodies and everything, painters and decorators, to get it built.
Very good. Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yep.
Now, I didn't know that knowledge, so buying a brick, which is very interesting.
Yeah, it is.
My friend. You mentioned 12 people, but all told, there was a total of 80 people, which he was correct by saying they bought a brick and these painters, decorators, joiners all put their 2 pence in.
Yes.
Which altogether it was about 80 people, which is very good there.
Yeah.
Right. Did you know, by the way, I don't think you do actually, because I did have a conversation with this, did you know that these 12 people used to go in the Wythenshawe pub on their meetings to discuss the financial side and how to get their dream going?
Didn't know about
Did you know that? Yeah,
no.
they used to go in regularly, yeah. And just one other thing before I sign off. Would you say this club is going to strength over the years you've been coming in here and living around here?
I would say yes, it is. They've lost a lot of people coming in here. God bless their souls if I died or whatever, or the old age pensions. They've not renewed their membership, but they've gained a hell of a lot more members in here now since they've opened it up to anybody. So I think it's going to be outstanding.
Well, it's on its own because it now, isn't it?
Yeah,
It's,
there's nothing in
it's
this,
nothing to
nothing in
do.
this district
It used
for
to be.
anybody to go to.
It used to be part of the church, didn't it? Because it was sort of.
Yeah.
It was owned by. I think it was owned by the Diocese of Shrewsbury, wasn't it?
That's right, yeah.
And then when they closed the church to it,
Yeah.
it was deemed like on its own and it became
Yeah.
independent.
That's correct, yeah.
Right. Just before I end off then, Boz, I'd like to thank you for giving your time up today. And I'm sure Claire would like to thank you.
Yeah, thank you very
And
much.
also, obviously I can't see the staff, but would you thank them on my behalf and Claire's behalf for all the help they
thank
gave
you.
us?
Thank you very
That's
much.
good. Will do, yes.
Without this club, we wouldn't be able to do the filming and the acting.
There's an
That's just
action
a-
gentleman there who would know more about it.
Yeah.
And he stood there. Bob,
Thank you.
he's out there now.
Bob, yeah.
He knows a lot.
Go on.
Right, so tell us about the research you've done on the airport.
Okay, now I've actually condensed it because it's far too much history for me to say, and it would take an age. So we're starting with the history. Originally, Barton Airport near Eccles was chosen for the site for Manchester's new aerodrome. At the same time, Manchester City Council is keen to establish a municipal airport, so a temporary airfield is built in Wythenshawe. In 1929, Wythenshawe Airport opens for business.
It's 90 this year then.
In 1935, building work had started at Ringway. 1938, Ringway Airport is officially opened. That was on the 25th of June. And operations begin at the airport 2 days later. It is just 14 months and the airport handles 7,600 passengers, the equivalent of a summer morning's work today. Between 39 and 45, on the 1st of September, the last scheduled plane flies because the outbreak of the Second World War. Ringway Airport goes on to become a hub of wartime engineering activity as an aircraft manufacturing centre for ferry, aviation and Avro. Runway and airport facilities are enhanced with 3 new runways and 10 new hangars. The airport also acts as a training centre for over 60,000 parachutists. Now, before the airport opened, I've got a little bit here to say that, let me just find this bit here. During the Second World War, as I say, it became the training centre for Britain's airborne forces, and many overseas troops were also trained there. The Americans, Belgians, Canadians, Czechs, Dutch and Norwegians, and even the Polish soldiers were actually located there. There's a lot of history around that time, but it's far too much to cover in this short filming. And then we'll carry on now with the history. So we're up to 39 to 45, as I say. That was during the Second World War. In 1946, peacetime passenger services begin. 1947, passenger numbers tripled to more than 34,000 a year. In 1952, the airport starts 24-hour operations and now handles 163,000 passengers every year. In 1955, the first inclusive tour flights began to Ostend, and that, as we know, are the package holidays.
Oh, that's amazing, Jenna.
So in 1962, the Duke of Edinburgh opens the new 2.7 million terminal. The terminal is truly innovative, the first in Europe to incorporate a pier system in which passengers remain undercover and until ready to board the aircraft. 1969, the runway is extended to 2,745 metres. This allows aircraft to take off with a full payload and fly non-stop to Canada. Now, I'll just interrupt there because in 1967, I actually flew from Manchester to Toronto in Canada. So I went on I think it was a DC-10 aircraft, which was Boeing. And so they started before 69, because I actually went in 67. So I just thought I'd just put that little bit in. In 1980, for the first time, passengers' numbers topped more than 500,000 in one single month.
Wow.
And then we go to 1987, passengers topped 1 million a month for the first time. So as you can see, the numbers are going up and up and up. The airport is getting bigger, and it's what we've got today. That's just a little bit
that's
added information.
great information. So I believe you have like a story on the cat. Is it a cat?
Oh, I've got a story on the cat. I'll just do another couple of things here, because I'm nearly done with the. I just wanted to bring it up to date.
Yeah, that's
really,
fine.
Claire.
Yeah.
So in 1993, Terminal 2 is open.
Yeah.
And it's opened by the Duke of Edinburgh again. I think he must like our airport.
Yeah.
Doubling the terminal capacity to around 20 million. That's per year, passengers per year. A new railway station is opened in May, providing direct links to many towns and cities in the north of England.
The trams go there now as well, don't they?
They do now, Darren, you're right. So you can see from all these different dates in history how much it's changed over the years. In 2009, £80 million of terminal improvements are opened across the 3 terminals, and that's in July 2009. Shortly afterwards, on the 22nd of October, Emirates officially opened a new luxurious lounge for its premium passengers and frequent flyers. In November, the airport begins to trial imaging technology, also known as body scanning, in Terminal 2. 2013 is the 75th birthday of the airport. 2013 is Manchester Airport's new control tower is opened. And then 2014, as Darren has said, the Metro Link opened. So in 2016, a range of new routes launched, including significant long-haul destinations that can only be flown direct from Manchester and London. These include Hainan Airlines direct services to Beijing, Thomas Cook Airlines new routes to Boston and Los Angeles, and Singapore Airlines new direct flights to Houston.
And there's also Qantas as well, isn't there?
Yes.
Can you get more into the frame, hon?
Can you come round a bit, Darren?
Yeah.
Oh, here.
Bit more. So right near where Jenna is, because I
Want me
need
to sit there?
Yeah, it might help.
Change places with
Okay.
you.
I think actually in the middle.
Oh.
Sort of, yeah, just there,
Oh, here.
so you can get sort of in the frame. That's all.
Okay.
Right.
In 2017, the airport celebrates its busiest day with more than 107,000 passengers passing through the 3 terminals. And that is per day.
Well, there must have been bad.
So 107,000, that is a lot of passengers, and that's just in one day. And 2018, Manchester Airport celebrates its 80th birthday. So if anybody wants to carry on with the history and find out more, it's online. You just go online and type in the history of
That's
Manchester
amazing.
Airport.
Well, Jenna, thank you very much.
Well, I've just got a little thing
Yeah.
here.
It's got a story.
A little story that I found,
Yeah.
and I think this was actually in the Manchester Evening News.
Well, let's hear it then.
And it's about a cat that was adopted at the airport, and it's
you
called the
move in a bit
Manchester
more, Dan?
Airport Cat. Ollie, and she's a girl. Ollie wandered into the airport in 2007 as a one-eared, collarless stray. Staff made a kennel for her. She was named Ollie after Olympic House, the airport's main office block. She retired and went to live with Jennifer until she died in 2011, but her legacy has endured. Hundreds of messages were left on her Facebook page. She had 1,500 followers and even had a plane named after her. A memorial service was led by the Reverend George Lane in 2011. Ollie's ashes were scattered in Stanley Forest near Runway 1, one of her favourite haunts. A plaque has been erected in her honour. Now she must be one of the most famous people to have
She got her own wings in the air.
I mean, I don't think anybody else will have lived at the airport, but I thought that was really, really
That is lovely.
It's an amazing story.
a lovely story.
And just to finish off before Dan says, thank you for coming to that. Without Sattons and his Jennings selling a lot of their land to put more houses because they needed them. This is going back years again, like your survey. Without them, it wouldn't have probably been as big as it is now. It's only the city council needed the land to link up with more houses, to link up with the airport. And over to you, Darren.
Well, thank you very much, Jenna. That was a really lovely interview.
Well, it's just very interesting, isn't it?
Yes, it was.
And I'd just like to mention one more thing, that when I was a child, I lived in Woodhouse Park.
All right.
And I used to go down Bailey Lane, I think Bailey Lane is still there, and used to cross over the fields
And you get to the airport.
and get to Ringway, which was surrounded by so many fields, and there was a few of us used to go, especially in the summer holidays, and we used to take a bottle of water and some jam butties, and we used to stay there for hours just playing in the fields,
Well, I'll tell you
collecting
something.
blackberries.
It's amazing to think that when you're in Woodhouse Park, the airport's a lot nearer than we think. When
It is, it's only about 10
yeah.
minutes.
Definitely.
Definitely use
You
them.
just used to go over the fields. I mean, now you can't get that near to the airport because
Not a chance.
it's all boarded off.
Sure.
Damn
You know.
terrorists.
Car parks.
But yeah, and car parks, you're right there. But in them days, you got right up to the perimeter of the actual airport
Could sit on that
it was
hill,
so
couldn't you?
yeah. Well, those hills were the bunkers.
That's right, yeah, too, yeah.
They were the air raid shelters.
Yeah, well,
I saw the French Concorde there once. It's got planes
Oh,
bottom.
beautiful sight.
Yeah.
Beautiful sight. I've seen the Concorde many times in my
Yeah, excuse me.
And
Yeah.
where I live now, I'm actually not actually on the flight path, but to the left or the right,
And
depending
the
where they
Cheadle's
come
not
in.
far from it, is it?
No. And I've seen Concorde come in so many times.
See,
and
you
go
can
out.
hear it. It's that
is-
loud.
It was absolutely a wonderful sight. Brilliant.
You always know when Concorde's out overhead. 'cause
Thank you,
can hear
Jenna,
it.
anyway.
And you could also see all
Yeah.
it was all like a cloud round it.
Oh,
okay
thank
then.
you very much,
Thanks
Jenna.
very much, Jenna.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay.